How are you guys doing today? I have a at-home stretching routine for you guys so we can stretch out the entire body. I'm going to show you what each of the stretches are first, and then we can actually stretch together holding them all out. So let's get started. All right, this at-home stretching routine is super awesome. You can do it anywhere. It's good to just keep the body limber. It helps prevent, any injuries by stretching. So really important to stretch as you're doing these other workouts. We're gonna start with a half split. So I recommend using a mat or something soft just to stretch and come down and do what's called a half split, but it's not as scary as it sounds. So you're gonna put one leg in, find the spot that works for you. If you can get it closer to your hips, that's okay. If you can need to send it out a little bit further, that's okay too. This leg is straight and you're gonna reach towards this toe. Try to touch your toe if you can. If you can touch your calf, your shin, your knee even, find that spot there. We're gonna hold that for 15 seconds on the right side. And then we're gonna switch to the left side, same thing. Bring the right leg in this time and reach for those left toes. You can always reach tall. Try to reach tall first and then reach towards your toes, just stretching out the body before you stretch to the side. After that, we're gonna go into a downward dog. So in case you don't know what that is, hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart. Easier to start in a push-up position and then just press through your palms, press your hips backwards and feel the stretch through your calves. Gazes at your toes. You can always walk your dog and pedal your feet if you'd like, and holding that downward dog stretch. From there, we're gonna come back and do a bridge position. So this is great to stretch out the back. So you'll come to seated, bring your feet hip width flat on the ground, and then bring your upper body to rest on the mat. Arms are by your sides. If you wanna scoot those feet and even closer to your seat, plant them into the ground. Squeeze your bottom to lift it up into the air and squeeze those knees together. Try to tuck your hips under here. You'll get a stretch through the back of the legs and stretch through that lower back. So think hips up towards the ceiling. After that bridge position, we're gonna come back into a cobra and now stretch out the abdominals. So sending the legs behind you. This is the opposite of a downward dog as well. We're gonna stretch our cobra here. So plant your hands into the ground and stretch through the upper body. Pull your shoulders down away from your neck. Gaze is upward. If you need to, you can always do this from the forearms and stretch that way. It's a little less intense for the back. So plant your hands and stretch through the abs and the lower back. After that cobra, we'll come into a figure 4 stretch. So you will swing your legs around, bring them in front of you, and cross the right ankle over your left knee. So you're making that number 4. If you need to send this leg out further or even straight, you can still make that figure 4 here and reach for your toes or just reach forward, wherever you're able to grab, that's okay. And then we'll switch 15 seconds on either side here. Sorry, we got some bugs. And reach again, stretching that figure 4. So you can really feel this in the back of the leg, really good for the hamstrings, a nice release there. So that is your stretching routine. We're gonna do the whole thing, holding each stretch for 30 seconds. So let's do it all together. All right, it is time to do your at-home stretching routine. We're gonna do each of these movements, holding most of them for 30 seconds, but I will walk you through it. We're gonna do it all out. You know what to do now. Starting with those at-home half splits, you'll bring your right leg out straight, that left leg is in, 15 seconds. Reach tall, stretch out the spine, and reach toward those toes, holding here. 15 seconds on the right, 15 seconds on the left. You'll feel a stretch through your side as well, and the backs of the legs. But this one is really good to open up the body. Try to take a few deep breaths as you're sitting here. Try to get a little further into your stretch, relax as you are in it. You can maybe reach a little bit further past your toes the longer you're in it, and take it to the other side, switching out the legs. Again, reach nice and tall and turn towards the toes, reaching for those toes. If you need to send this leg out further, that's okay. If you can only grab your knee or your calf, that's okay too. We got 15 seconds on this side. Deep breaths as you're sitting here. We got 3, 2, and 1. Come up nice and slow. We're gonna take it into a downward dog. So however you have to position yourself, take your time in these transitions, as much time as you need so that you're not hurting yourself. Come to that push-up position, hands shoulder width, feet hip width, and press back into that downward dog. 30 seconds here. Take a couple deep breaths. Press down through the heels. Release the calves. Maybe pedal your feet. Your gaze is at your toes. And plant the bottom of your palms into that mat. Really plant your hands here. Spread those fingers for good stability. And press back, pressing your hips up towards the sky. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath as you come forward. And now we're going to go into our reverse bridges. So these are great for your back. Bring your upper body on the mat. Bring your arms by your sides. Feet are hip width. Bring those feet close to your seat. Squeeze your seat to lift yourself up. So when you're squeezing your seat, you're holding this for 30 seconds. Squeezing your seat so that your hips go towards the sky. And you want to pull those abs in. So you don't want to arch here. You want a nice rounded spine. And then squeeze those knees together. So you want your knees pulled together. You want your hips tucked under. And you want your abs engaged here. You're zipping up the rib cage. Holding this for 30 seconds total. Plant your feet into the ground. Almost out of it. We got 3, 2, and 1. Keep squeezing. Slowly lower the hips down. We have a little bit of lawn maintenance going on next door, but that's okay. It's not going to stop us from stretching today. We are going to go right into our cobra. So plant your hands in front of you. Try to bring them a little bit closer to the body and press away from your mat so that your that your shoulders are away from your neck and your neck is towards the sky. So think chin up. Remember, if that's too intense for the back, you can come down to your forearms and you can make sure that you plant your hands into the ground and still stretching through the abs, releasing the lower back here in that nice cobra stretch. 3, 2, and 1. And finally, coming back up for our figure 4, 15 seconds on either side. We'll start with the right leg. So if you want to bend that leg, place the right ankle over your left knee and sit tall, leaning forward, stretching into that. Again, if that is too much, if that's too tight, you can straighten that leg and bring your right leg still to that 4 position, reaching tall and stretching forward. Try to release the back of the hamstrings. You can even press that right knee down a little bit, and then we're gonna take it to the other side. Little switch it out. We'll do that right leg straight this time. Reach tall, reach forward. Again, try to press out on that knee, getting a little stretch through the hip as well as the back of the hamstring. This stretch is amazing. Honestly, you should do this stretch every day. It always feels good no matter what you're doing. This is a final stretch in this stretching routine. So we are almost out. We got 3, 2, and 1. Shake out those legs, bring it back to neutral. That was so awesome. Make sure that if you guys liked that stretch, that you subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more stretches, a lot more workouts you should check out, and just a lot more awesome stuff for you.